Which one do you want first? You want the good news or the bad news?
Give us the bad news first so we can recover with the good news.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
Nick, you've been doing trade for about 6 years now. What is your, if you have to highlight your best experience in trade, in a trade that you've placed, and your worst experience, what would those two be?
Yeah. So my which one do you want first? You want the good news or the bad news?
Give us the bad news first so we can recover with the good news.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. I think my worst trade ever was during the pandemic. I had a short. In fact, let me show you. I can remember it so clearly. I'll go find the chart here. Euro Aussie, I was short on one of the craziest bullish moves ever. And I had a strategy that I still incorporate to this day. It was a grid system. And, I'm a fan of grid systems within reason. I think that grid systems can be great. It does mean, using very small position sizes and not using stop losses, which is, a very questionable territory. It's not my only style of trading, but it is something that I incorporate on larger sizes accounts where I have, a willingness to build positions over a period of time. I'm not totally against that, but what is painful is when volatility expands like it did in 2020 and the euro became the crowd favorite big time compared to the Australian dollar. This thing flew by a massive, let me see if I can get it. I think I was short around this area, as bad as that looks, and it only gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So I shorted it, and at some point it was up about 3,600 pips in just a couple months. I mean, that's a significant move there. So that was my worst trade ever. At one point, I was down on that. Now, granted, it was a bigger account and I recovered just fine, but it was the worst drawdown that I ever experienced. It was about a 25% drawdown on a $100,000 account. It was at one point down $25,000 on the position. And I was like, okay, even though I thought I was risking really tiny, I still experienced one of the most painful trades. It wasn't actually the worst profit and loss because I came out with a small loss on this trade overall. But still, regardless of that, it was mentally my worst trade ever. It was just so exhausting. And I was like, I need to be even smaller with my position sizes. And that expansion and volatility taught me a huge lesson, just that, markets can do just the unthinkable sometimes. And you have to be prepared for that with your trading plan. Account for the worst possible scenarios and then add a little bit of more pain to that expectation. And then hopefully you'll be good in your trading plan. Stress testing is a big thing. And finally, for the better trades out there. So one of my best trades this year recently was the dollar yen long positions that I took. Now, granted, I caught the dollar yen long, and this is a great example of how crazy markets can be. Again, I think I bought dollar yen around here, and I held it all the way up until around here and went out and was like a massive trade for me. It was like a, $5,000 or $6,000 trade total. And I was like, wow, that was amazing. And then sure enough, had I held it, it would have gone another like $15,000. But it's just that's trading 101. So that was a really awesome trade this year, and definitely one of my more exciting ones in recent times.